Have you ever wondered where modern spying really came from? It's not just James Bond with his cool gadgets and shaken martinis. The real story is far more complex, secretive, and frankly, more fascinating. It's a tale of whispers in shadowy corridors, codes cracked in quiet rooms, and decisions that shape the world we live in today. Let's pull back the curtain on the covert origins of modern intelligence. Our story begins not in the 20th century, but much earlier. Think of Sir Francis Walsingham, Queen Elizabeth I's spy master. In the 16th century, he built a sophisticated network across Europe, using ciphers, double agents, and informants to protect England from plots and invasions. His methods were ruthless, but effective, laying a blueprint for state-sponsored espionage. He showed that information, gathered secretly, was as powerful as any army. Jumping forward, the Napoleonic Wars in the early 1800s were another major turning point. Napoleon himself was a master of intelligence. He established the Cabinet Noir, or Black Chamber, a secret office dedicated to intercepting and reading the mail of his enemies, and even his own citizens. This systematic, centralized approach to gathering intelligence was revolutionary. It wasn't just about spies on the ground. It was about mass data collection, 19 Thursday's century style. But the true birth of modern intelligence, as we know it, happened in the run-up to World War I. This is where we see the professionalization of spying. In Britain, the Secret Service Bureau was formed in 1909, which would later split into MI5 for domestic counterintelligence and MI6 for foreign operations. They were created out of a growing fear of German espionage. Suddenly, spying wasn't an ad hoc affair. It was a formal government department with a budget, a hierarchy, and a mission. One of the most legendary figures from this era is Sidney Riley, often called the Ace of Spies. His exploits, a mix of fact and fiction, inspired Ian Fleming's James Bond. Riley worked for multiple countries, infiltrating German and Russian circles, and was known for his charisma, cunning, and incredible risk. While his story is sensational, it highlights the new breed of professional agent, emerging at the time highly skilled, multilingual, and operating deep within enemy territory. Then came World War I, the war to end all wars, which became a crucible for intelligence techniques. Code breaking took center stage. The British decryption unit, known as Room 40, was a gift. Their most famous success was intercepting and deciphering the Zimmermann telegram. This was a secret message from Germany to Mexico, proposing a military alliance against the United States. When the British shared this with the Americans, it was a key factor in pushing the US to enter the war, tipping the balance of power. This single act of cryptanalysis showed the world that wars could be won not just on the battlefield, but in the war of information. During the interwar years, the world of espionage became even murkier. The rise of communism in the Soviet Union led to a new kind of ideological spy. The Cambridge Five, a group of high-ranking British intelligence officers who were secretly Soviet moles, became the most infamous example. They weren't spying for money or blackmail. They spied for belief. This ideological dimension added a new layer of complexity and paranoia to the world of intelligence, setting the stage for the Cold War. World War II was the ultimate accelerator. Intelligence became a massive, industrial-scale operation. On the Allied side, the creation of the American Office of Strategic Services, or LSS, was a pivotal moment. It was the direct forerunner of the CIA. Led by Wild Bill Donovan, the OSS pioneered everything from psychological warfare and propaganda to paramilitary operations and advanced espionage techniques. They recruited academics, linguists, scientists, and adventurers, creating a diverse, multi-talented organization that defined the modern intelligence agency. Meanwhile, at Bletchley Park in England, another secret war was being waged. Here, a team of brilliant minds, including the legendary Alan Turing, worked tirelessly to crack Germany's unbreakable Enigma code. Their success was arguably the single greatest intelligence achievement of the war. It gave the Allies unprecedented insight into German military plans, saving countless lives and shortening the war by an estimated 2 years. The work at Bletchley Park not only demonstrated the power of signals intelligence, but also laid the groundwork for modern computing. The end of World War II didn't bring an end to spying. Instead, it marked the beginning of a new, even more intense era. The Cold War. The world was split into two camps, East and West, and a great game of espionage between the CIA and the KGB began. This was the golden age of human intelligence, of dead drops, safe houses, and sleeper agents. The Berlin Wall wasn't just a physical barrier. It was a symbol of the invisible front line where spies operated, constantly probing for weaknesses and stealing secrets. From Walsingham's quills and ciphers, to Bletchley Park's proto-computers, and the Cold War's clandestine meetings. The evolution of spying is a story of constant innovation. Each era built upon the last, refining techniques and expanding the scope of what was possible. The core principle, however, has always remained the same. Knowledge is power, and the best-kept secrets are the most powerful of all. So the next time you see a spy movie, remember the real history. It's a legacy of brilliant minds, daring agents, and secret wars that have been shaping our world from the shadows for centuries. The tools have changed, but the game remains the same. Thanks for joining this deep dive into the secret world of espionage. If you found this fascinating, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next video. See you next time.